Seniors, Mr. Pasetsky here with breaking news. Well, not so much breaking, more of an update really, because like everything else this year, college admissions is going to look a little bit different. So for more on this, we turn to my slideshow. Colleges this year are working hard to make sure that the admissions process is as equitable as possible. Given the standardized test scores, transcripts, and extracurricular activities, it's going to be a challenge for the year. Test scores. Fortunately, 63% of the nation's schools have gone test optional, and that list is growing every day. What does that mean exactly? It means that if you have scores to submit, you do not necessarily have to, and colleges cannot penalize you for not submitting those scores. However, out of the 1,400-ish schools that are test optional, only about 500 as of now have signed a pledge reaffirming that commitment. There is a link in our Google Classroom that takes you to that pledge, and you can see which schools have signed on. And that list too is growing every day. A lot of colleges have been test optional for admissions only, and not necessarily for their merit-based scholarships. Well, that is also changing. So a lot of colleges have removed that requirement for their merit-based scholarships. Transcripts are super key in the admissions process. However, when we went into crisis mode and quarantine in the spring, a lot of high schools in the spring semester went to pass-fail grades. So it's really difficult for an admissions officer to compare a student who has a full set of grades versus a student who has a semester just of pass-fail grades. So they're trying to be fair when they compare. Extracurricular activities. Again, when school shut down in the spring, students weren't able to participate in sports or clubs and what have you. So for example, let's say you're a captain of a spring sport, which is great, but you didn't really have a chance to be the captain because sports are closed. So how do colleges look at that on your application? Here's what they're doing. They're taking a slightly different approach. Holistic admissions has been nothing new in this decision-making process. However, what they're doing is taking a deeper dive. So what holistic means is they look at everything around you as a student. So not just your test scores and your GPA, but your extracurricular activities, your community service, whatever else you may be involved in. They paint as broad of a picture as you as possible. That's the holistic approach. So what colleges are now doing is they're taking a deeper dive into that holistic approach. What does this all mean for you? First of all, if they're taking a deeper dive into the holistic approach, chances are they're going to do a social media search. So make sure that your social media has nothing inappropriate. One tip that we've been getting from colleges around the country is do not write about your quarantine experience in a personal statement. Why? Because imagine you are a college admissions officer having to read thousands of essays, and each of them is the same. Oh, how impactful it was for me to be closer with my family, and what a huge experience, what a great experience that was. Boring, right? If you have to read that 1,000 times, if you do that, the college admissions officer, I guarantee, will toss out your essay. Reach schools may be less of a reach. So this is a really good opportunity because what's happening is last year, 7% of the graduating class did not change their college-going plans due to COVID. 7% might not seem like a lot, but that's out of 3.7 million students. This year, your class is expected to stay closer to home, allowing for more opportunities out of state. There's more spots available, and colleges want to fill those spots, right? So there's more opportunity for you to get to apply and possibly gain admittance into those reach schools and gain some potentially better scholarships. Here's the thing though, you have to apply early. Typically on a normal year, colleges will admit most of their incoming class under early decision or early action. Let's take Tulane for example. Tulane in a normal admissions cycle will admit about 60% of their class under early decision. This time around, they are considering upping that to about 70, 75%. Why? Because schools want to build the class as early as possible so they know where they stand financially in the future. All right, so here's a list of upcoming events. Cash for College is Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, September 24th. It'll be on Zoom. I will send out links as soon as they are ready. And here are some upcoming college visits also on Zoom, and all links will be posted in our Google Classroom, which, let me just do this and take you to my classroom. There you can see I've written on the board our Google Classroom code and our remind. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks, guys, and have a great year.